4 was him! Look, quite similar, 4 was him! I'm just looked at my Audacity and the audio waves are just huge. What is up, guys? Welcome to another video, and today we're here for another AskHippo. And today's kind of main question, the question that we're going to kind of put this episode round is the Crew 2 dead? I haven't actually played that game in a while, like it's actually quite surprising. I still stand by everything I said before launch about that game. It would be my game of the year if it had endgame. When I ask questions about AskHippo and, you know, that kind of stuff, I got a few questions about the MX-5, I got a few questions about the Crew 2 and Need for Speed and stuff, but I kind of want to kind of chime in on the Crew 2 stuff before we go ahead and get into the later stuff, because there's a lot to say. So Mr. Whatever asked, do you think PvP will save the Crew 2's player base, or is December too late? He then goes on to say, I worry a bit that Horizon 4 will dominate the Crew 2 and Horizon 4 won't have any competition. Now, it's important to remember that the Crew is like, honestly, if you look at the original game, that game didn't really start off too fondly either. That game had a lot of hiccups at launch, and then it kind of eventually kind of changed into something else, you know, as updates came along. So I don't ever think it's too late for them to kind of make the game better. For example, Rainbow Six Siege is a game I often talk about a lot on the channel, and that is because that game was literally dead and resurrected from the dead. So, do I think the Crew 2 is too late for the Crew 2? No, I don't think December's too late. I definitely think if they wanted to kind of grow this game optimally and like in the best way possible, it should have been sooner. But I don't think being in December is kind of like necessarily a bad thing, because it does mean we're going to get a polished PvP. But I think if they wanted the game to grow, you know, in a beneficial way, and if they wanted the game to, you know, be bigger than Horizon, yeah, did kind of need to be there. I look at Horizon and the Crew 2 in two completely different ballparks, just because the Crew 2 is truly multi-platform. You know, obviously Xbox, there is exclusivity there. You're not going to be able to buy this game on Steam or whatever. And obviously the Crew 2 is on all platforms. And as well as that, you know, Forza is a dedicated car game, as where this is boats, planes. So they are a bit different in those ways. But I do think for the racing side, for the car side, once Horizon 4 comes out, there'll be no reason to play the Crew 2. Said this in my one of my videos before launch. Again, I stand by everything I said before launch, you know, about the Crew 2. I did say there's no PvP and the end game is lacking, that this game is going to be ditched after 2 weeks. And I think if you look at the fact that this game is already on sale, well, I'm right. As well as that, if you also, it's a bit sad really, because I see the devs keep on saying stuff like, oh, we're going to keep you entertained. I've not touched that game in a while. I played more Fortnite than the Crew 2, which is exactly what I was saying about Need for Speed Payback not too many months ago. So let's hope whatever Gator Rush has is more than just a few races, because I'm a bit sick of doing the same races over and over again. Most of my cars are maxed out for the most part. I kind of carried on going till I got bored, bit bored now. So hopefully whatever they add is actually interesting enough to keep me, you know, entertained. But I guess the only way that's going to be able to, you know, we're only going to be able to tell that is with time. So let's hope. I don't think December's too late, but I do think that at least for car people, Horizon's going to come and it's going to conquer, because Horizon is looking absolutely awesome. A little follow-up question from that is from Jaden, and his question is, did the Crew 2 live up to your expectations? If not, what would you change and why? And the reason why I want to answer this is because a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, look, you were wrong about everything you were saying at launch, you overhyped this game. No, I'm going to stand by everything I said before launch. The physics are the closest we've had to black box physics in ages. The game is everything the Crew 1 was, minus endgame, but everything is just better. The game is so much better than the Crew 1, you know, from a quality standpoint. It just lacks a bit of content. So I do stand by everything I said. The game is much better than the Crew 1, you know, as a fundamental game. It just lacks endgame. That's literally the only thing which is stopping me playing that game is PvP. That's the final piece of the puzzle. I still stand by everything I said before launch. I just wanted to quickly get that in there, because I know a lot of people are going to think that it's not the case. I still really like the game, but it just needs to add a bit more, and obviously that's going to come with time. The next question comes from Carlos, and his question is, anything you'd like to do more with your MX-5? Maybe wrap, respray, engine, or body mods? Wrap, respray, and engine are all way too expensive. Oh, that is expensive. So to kind of run down the list, I have talked about this previously, so I'll quickly go through the list of things I want to do in order of importance. Springs, so that obviously means lowering the car. Tires and rims. Exhaust. whale tail, and then little bits and bobs like, you know, steering wheel, you know, I've got a dildo shifter coming, which is gonna be cool. It's not an actual dildo, I see that all the time. And then after that, you know, obviously I think front split is gonna be somewhere in between, but then after that, just kind of like miscellaneous things really, like a bucket seat will be fucking cool. I just want to make it like a really cool daily that can still be taken to the track. I do eventually want to do track days in it. At the moment, the next mod is going to be springs, then we're going tires and rims, because wider tires would make the world of difference, and having it dropped. Basically, for those that don't know, the MX-5 in the UK was actually raised by 30 mil because of UK regulations. So to get it back to kind of like where it's supposed to be, that's what I want. Was thinking about maybe getting 40 mil lowering springs, but the only problem with that is like I just would not be able to drive that in the UK. It'd be fucking awful. The next question comes from Squirms, and his question is, with Need for Speed becoming 25 years old next year, do you think either a movie or a game will come out? If it is a game, do you think EA and Ghost have any excuses if they mess up? I don't think a movie's coming out. I have heard like a few years ago that apparently they're making a movie, but I never really saw anything of it, so I don't think a movie's coming out. If we are to follow the 2-year, you know, time cycle that a Need for Speed game usually comes out in, yes, we can expect a game next year. Do they have any excuses? Nope, not in my opinion. They've had 3 chances, Ghosts have now, to make a good game, and every single game has either been buggy or it's had problems. This game needs to be the one. You know, they've had 3 chances now. Even if they do mess up, it's fine. It's Need for Speed. It will always be fine. But I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that, you know, it isn't going to be really demoralizing. I'm already going into this next game very, very anxious. So Lord knows what it's going to be like after, if the game is shit. For now, let's keep our hopes high. Let's see what they have to offer, and let's hope that it's the game we all want. Let's not say any more than that. The next question comes from LP Ripper 24's TV. Oh god, I just got a few questions about this, so I thought it was quite interesting. I was just going to want to answer it because it's been interesting. So LP Ripper asks, what's your life going to be after YouTube? How would you deal with moving on from YouTube if it never ends or changes dramatically? And to add on to this, Super Racer 99 asked, what do you plan on doing later if YouTube isn't enough to play your monthly costs? And what kind of theme here are you currently studying? So I'm asking what I'm assuming that he's asking what I'm studying at university. So I'm studying film production at university, and essentially if nothing goes right and, you know, if YouTube doesn't blow up, which to be honest, it's a 50-50 chance at this point. It really depends on the next year. My views of recently have been absolutely like really awful, really bad. So if it does carry on going the way it's going, there's a 50-50 chance I'm gonna end up doing this. If not, I'm probably going to look at some type of social media job, maybe an editing job, you know, something in social media, something in, you know, video, whether that's, you know, working for, you know, someone's social media company. I think that's something that I'd really lend myself to, and obviously I've got the credentials for it because I've worked a hell of a lot on YouTube, and people will actually kind of look at that stuff, which is a bit mad. But fingers crossed it is. At this point, it's getting closer and closer, and I'm getting more anxious and thinking that it's not, but I guess only time will tell. The next question comes from Master Edo1, and his question is, what do you think of the current state of the racing game community as a whole, and will you do the Undefeated Racing League again like you did in the last year? What do I think of the current state of the racing community? Again, it's really weird. Not sure if it's just me, but views have been the lowest they've ever been, like ever, in relation to my sub growth. Not sure if that's like widespread. I'm not sure if that is just me, because it could very well be the algorithm targeting me. Overall though, it's a bit weird. I don't think there's actually that many racing YouTubers compared to what there was maybe a year or 2 ago. I don't know really what the case is, because obviously this year we had the most racing games to come out in a very long time. Overall, I'd say it's the kind of same as it really ever was. There's not really anyone doing this, and you know, the people that have been at the top for a very long time. You've got your Black Panthers, your AR-12s, your Slap Trains, your whatevers. You know, they've been there for ages, and they're gonna stay there because they were the first, and they're still doing, you know, what they're doing, and they've got the fan bases for it. I think overall it's all right. It is what it is. It's one of those things. It's a small community. Not toxic really. For those that actually think this community is toxic, you really need to, you know, open your eyes, because trust me, there's a lot of others. And then Undefeated Racing League, there's no games to do it on. I'm not doing it on Payback. And the final question, and I saved this for last on purpose because I'm sure not many of you want to hear about Rainbow Six Siege, but Speed or Stelio asks, what's the best attacking and defensive operators on Rainbow Six Siege? Best ones that I recommend that it could be played in any situation, I'm going to quickly say Habana and Lion. 2 operators that are always useful. So if you guys enjoyed this video, if you did, make sure to go ahead and hit the like, subscribe. Yeah, tomorrow, I don't know what we're going to do, possibly Undefeated, possibly Forza Horizon Let's Play. I guess we'll see depending on how this video does, but that's been it from me today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit the like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys have been awesome, stay safe, and peace.